Hey guys, my name is Ria. If you are deciding to move to Ireland, please watch this video because I will help you figure out a few things that you need to consider before you decide to make the big move. So, I see a lot of people who are, confused of what they want from their study abroad experience. There are some people who think, it's going to be all fun and they'll move to a new country. It's so exciting, like starting a new life. And, it's like kind of a colonized mindset where we think, like, oh, a foreign country experience is really good and, you will really enjoy it and everything is super fancy. But the reality hits hard when people move here, especially from a country of like India where there is so much convenience and you have like a sheltered life, you have your parents, your family, your friends, and a community that you can turn to. But when they come here, they get a reality check that, it is not what they expected. And today I want to address like why that happens. Like why do people feel so disappointed from the experience at the end of the day, and some people don't want to like stay here long term, they want to go back once their education has ended, or even if they've given it 1 or 2 years of their life. Like, so I think what I have realized, and this is again from my own experience of talking to various people, there are a few different kinds of people who come here. And some people come here, just as an experiment to see what life is living abroad, and like they want to just like enjoy, experience most things, live in an international, like within an international community. And then there are people who come here with the hope of building their life, building their career, and being here long term. So I think the first thing that we all need to do as a community or even as students is like break the bubble that the first few years will not be easy. And it's anywhere you go, like any other country you go to, or if you leave your house and start living by yourself, most of the time it's going to be extremely challenging. There will be days you will be like, what am I even doing here? What is the point of like living such a difficult life? And a lot of people are like, I had such a good life back in India and I just like gave it up and moved to a country. And I think that's a very privileged point of view, that you have the option to go back if you do not like the experience. And there are some people who feel like, okay, I have invested like 40 lakhs into my education to move abroad. I need to find a good job. I need to build my life here. So anyone who is looking to build their life here and wants to, get the most out of the experience, the minimum I would say you need to give this country is at least 4 years. That's what I think. I think 4 years is the sweet spot when you have finished your education, you have gone through the job hunting phase. If you are like struggling for a year looking for a job and you have had like a difficult period of time looking for a job, then you land a job, then you start like, paying off your liabilities if you have a student loan, or like sending back money home if that's like a major thing for you. And the initial salary might not be as high as you have. So the first 2 years is like after you finish your course is like where you're like kind of figuring out like how to make money, how to like manage your income and all of that. And I think in the fourth year or the fifth year, things start to ease down. You now have a good understanding of everything else. Like you are no longer looking for a job, you have like a stable job. You can now start focusing on other things that you want to do, and not so much what were your responsibilities initially, like what was expected from you, or what were the things that you needed to like get a check, like a checklist that you had to get done. Now you can start like enjoying life. And I think that's where people kind of give up, is like in the first 2 3 years when they are like really struggling. That is when they feel like, okay, this is not for me, and then they decide to go back. And I mean, it's not wrong. It's like every person has a different amount of resilience, every person has different expectations, responsibilities, liabilities. But if you are someone who's moving to a new country, a European country which is considered expensive, firstly I would assume you are fairly privileged, that you come from a family that has good amount of wealth. You may not be extremely rich, but you are quite wealthy as a segment compared to the whole population of the country. So you might be used to things a certain way. You might be used to, having certain facilities and all of that. And when you come here, you kind of abandon all of that. You kind of have to give up everything. And then that's where you kind of struggle initially. And then a lot of people also do not adjust to the life here and do not understand how the European economy works so much. So a lot of people complain sometimes that, oh, shops close down here at 7 p.m. But I think I've said this in my old videos, that that's kind of a good thing, because it means that people who are working, who are actually doing all the job, their time is being respected. They have like good facilities from their work. They have like, they are not considered just like cheap labor. Like if you are in India, sometimes you see, those Zomato drivers or delivery drivers that are like risking their life on a bike to deliver food to like, it doesn't matter if they even get into an accident to deliver food. That's not a good or a healthy lifestyle for the amount that they're getting paid. But here, people's life is, respected. It's not like people are working beyond hours on jobs just to be convenient to a certain segment of people. They have like good laws in place to ensure all of that. So when people complain that, oh, these things were so much cheaper in India, like not having a tailor or cobbler available like in every street, it's not here, but it was something that we have in India. Like people then think that, oh, there are not enough conveniences and facilities. But the problem here is like, again, this is a very privileged mindset. It's only because India has so much of population that there is cheap labor that can do those things for you, and that is why you think life is convenient. But it's only convenient for the people who can afford it and not so much for the people who are doing it. And that is where people find a Western country not convenient, not fast enough. They complain that things are slow here because there is so much respect for like human life. And if you are a student who comes here and does a part-time, you will appreciate that your work ends at a certain time, that you don't have to work beyond that, that if you take a leave, like you can still get paid for it and all of that. Like these are things that you will appreciate when you are in the process, not so much if you're a consumer of the entire facility. So I think this video is just trying to like explain the things we compare with, our life back home and what we have here. There are a few things that can definitely be better in a country like Ireland. Is like, one would be healthcare. India has phenomenal healthcare, and there is a reason for that also, because we have so many doctors, so many parents want their children to be doctors, so many students enroll into medical colleges, and that's why we have doctors. So again, for the population of that size, you need that many doctors, and like you basically get those conveniences again. Here, healthcare can be difficult, it can be challenging. Sometimes people have to wait for months to get appointments, but then each country has its pros and cons. And if Ireland may not have as good healthcare as India, but it has better quality of air or less pollution, then, that's like a pro or a con. So again, I'm not like bashing anything like back there or back here. The country's own circumstances like decide how life is going to be. And a lot of people also have difficulty adjusting with weather once they move here. It's again a bit erratic, like it keeps changing on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes people don't like it. Depending on where you're coming from India, if you come from a region that gets a lot of rain, you might be okay with the rain. But if you come from a country where from part of the country where there is no rain, or you very little rain, or during a very small period of rain, like period of months you have rain, then you might not like it, because it's like almost raining here every couple of days, if not more, and even more during winters and very harsh winters and all of that. So, I mean, there are a lot of things that one needs to factor. You can wear rose-colored glasses and, get very excited that life abroad is going to be amazing and it's going to be so much fun and you will be partying all the time. That's not the reality. You will have to do part-time work. You will have to struggle to find a job because you are not a citizen of the country. You will have to fight for visa and sponsorship. You will have to give like hundreds of interviews before, or hundreds of applications before you even get an interview, and then give so many interviews to land that one job initially. You will also need to work on being more diverse and open-minded and respectful to other cultures. You also will need to work on your communication skills, because you could be brilliant in your own language, but if you're moving abroad, you need to polish your communication skills to adjust to the society. It's like how they say when you're in Rome, like you dress like the Romans. So wherever you go, you have to kind of adopt and adapt to the culture that the place offers. So I think it's again a very personal experience that we all have. We all come from different families, we have different expectations from our life. But to give the example of my own story, I didn't come with experience. I'm the only child, so it's not like, my family has other children, like any of that. Like I'm the only child. Then I had a degree in sociology, and then I did a master's in marketing because I realized there's scope for marketing. That was my long-term goal, that I want to work in marketing and that I wanted to build a career here. So I decided all these things, and then I was okay with the fact that initially I'll have to struggle. So it took me almost 2 years to land a job after like 1.5 years after I finished my course. And it took me time to like build my career. Like it took me time to go from like a salary of 28,000 upwards to like what I'm earning now. It took me time to land a job at Google. So if I would have given up at the stage where I couldn't find a job and just gone back, I would have probably never worked at Google, because in India also there's so much of competition and there are so many people who are as brilliant. So I would say sit down with a piece of paper, write down what your expectations from life are, what do you want from the experience. Don't just think like everyone is going abroad to study, so I need to go abroad to study. You need to think about all the factors that weigh in. You will initially struggle a lot. You will probably not like where you're living. You will probably not like that that the food you're eating is not made by by someone the food you like is not what you are getting. You have to cook for yourself, you have to clean for yourself, do your own laundry, do your own like washing and all of that. So it will be extremely difficult to adjust to. But if you give it long enough and you are happy in giving it 5 years of your life, or 4 years, as I said, you might find a good enough, career. You will then be able to weigh the pros and cons of both things, of either living in India or here, and then you can be confident in your decision. So I think this is basically for people who are still confused, like what to expect when they're moving from their own country to another country. It's a reality check. There will be lots of ups and downs, but it can be worth it if you are sure of what your long-term plan is from the country that you're living in. So all the best to all the people who are kind of figuring it out. I was in your spot just a couple of years ago, and I'm really happy with the decisions I have made. It took time, but it all worked out. And I'm sure if you also spend some time analyzing all of it and being clear and communicating it with your family, I think that's a huge factor that weighs in. It will help you be confident in your decisions. So all the best, and I will see you again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.